Hello F1 Universe and welcome to the Formula One Paddock Pass podcast. My name is F1 Hannah and with me I have the two co-hosts F1 Luke Sam and F1 Carlo. We are three unique individuals who share a love for the same sport, Formula One. Today we discuss the Monaco Grand Prix and 7 races into the season we rank our drivers based on how well they have done so far. So without further ado, get your passes out and let's enter the paddock.
Paddock pass accepted. Please enjoy this episode.
So, guys, the Monaco Grand Prix just happened. Go. What are your thoughts?
The Ferrari disaster class.
That's
all I
know.
Ferrari disaster class.
The disaster class, yeah. I think overall, it was better than I expected, because I thought it would be completely boring the whole race. But thanks to the rain, I think it did save it at the start. However, it did then go a bit down. And then plus with the Ferrari shambles with Charles Leclerc's pit stop. You know, I was not a very happy guy after the race.
No, I can imagine.
I definitely, if I was with you, I would have stayed out of arm's reach. That's for sure.
Yeah.
my friends had to do that. They were trying to, because I was watching with my friends. They were trying to egg it on, Carlo, what are they doing? What have they done to your guy? What have they done to your guy? I'm like, bro, chill. Just annoying me.
Look, not gonna lie, when I saw the Ferrari pit stop, I clapped. I was like, well done, boys, well done. And then I heard the Leclerc team radio. Yeah, exactly. I heard the team radio, and then I saw the results of it, which was he was put behind his teammate, and I was like, oh, I understand why he's a bit upset now.
But then
just a little bit upset, wasn't he?
Yeah, but then also he's behind Verstappen as well. It was like, guys, because I didn't mind if it then goes Sainz and Leclerc. But then I saw the screen. I saw Perez is already passed. Verstappen is going to get past. I was like, whoa, what's happened here? What's happened here? This is not part of the plan.
I fully expected, after that, I was like, alright, I get he's upset. But I didn't expect Perez to come out in first.
Yeah.
Because I said, if Sainz goes on hards here, I didn't realise Leclerc was coming in at this point. I was like, if Sainz puts on hards, he's got a really good chance at winning this.
Yeah.
And then when he did, I was like, cool, he's going to win. And then Perez came out in front. I thought it was going to be a Ferrari one too.
I thought that as well.
I was so hoping for Sainz to overtake Perez and get his... I'm happy for Perez, of course. I love Perez. Yeah. But Sainz to get his first win would have been so great, especially at Monaco. I was really kind of hoping the last couple laps, the timer was going down, not even lap by lap. I was watching the timer. I was calculating, right, so if one lap is about 1 minute 15, how many laps can we go?
I was doing the same.
I was disappointed for Sainz, but...
He did do the save of the season. You know, when he goes onto the wet patch.
Oh, on the main straight.
Yep.
Yeah.
Martin Brundle had a heart attack. And then I wasn't I was half watching. You know when you're on your phone, but you're looking up and down to the screen. And all of this, whoa! I'm like, what's going on here?
Yeah. It was
Look up,
what
see
a save!
Yeah, he's halfway sideways down the straight. It was crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, it was a scary moment.
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%. It was kind of off screen, but when you watch the replay, bro, he nearly put it in a barrier. There's no room for error there. I was kind of crossing both fingers and both toes because I wanted the top 4 to have a massive crash, and then George Russell collects P1.
Yes.
I was like, it's probably not going to happen, but it's not impossible.
Yeah.
Speaking of scary moments, Mick had a very scary crash. With that first shot of the car in 2, I was thinking, this is not good. I was a bit worried, but obviously
100%.
it was all good. Then little shot of Magnussen just confuses things. I didn't understand what was going on, but I just let it be.
Yeah, exactly right.
Because it's
I
Magnussen.
was kind of scared.
Because it's Magnussen with his helmet off, so it looks like he's fresh out of the crash. Yeah. I'm thinking, wait a minute. And then I'm hearing Mick in the barrier.
That was quick.
I was there saying to my guys, I think they've hit each other, but you just couldn't see Magnussen's car.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
I'm glad he's okay.
Yeah. I reckon if Mick didn't crash, we still to this day wouldn't have even known that Magnussen DNF'd.
It's so true.
It's just no one mentioned it.
It's so
No one
true.
knew.
But that's also because of like the Monaco TV directors, because you know they do it themselves. F1 don't do it, and then
Yeah.
there's a lot
Yeah.
of like talk on social media about how poor they were, and how they only showed like the front 4 cars. And I even saw like Luke, I saw your TikTok video. It was like, oh, just keep on Leclerc, just keep on Leclerc, just keep on Leclerc. Because that was true.
It was
because
true though.
there were so many overtakes that we never saw. Like there was actual overtakes in Monaco. Like I don't know if you saw Vettel's switchback move he did on Joe, which is like,
No.
Nope.
well, you didn't say, if you search online, it's one of the best overtakes you ever see. He gets him into
Proof
the
for it
last
didn't
corner,
happen.
but you just like Monaco never showed it. They only showed the front
Yeah.
4 cars for like the whole race. Really.
I feel like they showed Leclerc and they showed Gasly.
Yeah.
They
Oh,
were like, follow second and first and second, follow first and second.
Yeah.
Oh, they're about to battle. Cut to a pit stop.
yeah.
It was just,
Yeah.
it's like you're nearly there, and you're about to see it, and then they cut to something else.
Yeah.
I do have to give them credit though. The Gasly overtakes, they always had the perfect camera.
Yeah.
That helmet cam, oh, just before the hairpin, the
Yeah.
2 turns before the hairpin. Oh,
Perfect.
mamma mia, that was so
That was
good.
incredible. But then, I don't know about you, but then you notice the difference in tyres. Because when you're on board with Gasly, it's like you can even hear him like braking so much earlier than he should be braking. But then you then realise how bad of an overtaking track Monaco is, because he must have been like 3 seconds, 4 seconds quicker than whoever it was in front, but he just couldn't overtake. And then when you finally
Yeah.
see him just send it, dive down the inside, and you get the helmet cam, you're thinking, go on, Gasly. And then the one on
Yeah.
Ricardo as well, he's on the like opposite line. I thought, nah, Gasly was the star of the show. My friends were like saying, Gasly driver of the day, Gasly driver of the day.
100%.
They were saying
He
all
didn't
the
get it,
overtakes,
no.
They were gassed for him.
He didn't get
Who did
driver
get driver
day.
of the day?
I think it was Perez. When they just gave
I'm a
it.
fact check.
Yeah.
Because I didn't
I
even...
actually did vote for Perez driver of the day.
I was...
But when Sainz was catching, I was like, did I vote too early because Sainz might get
Yeah.
this? But no.
I
Someone
think he
voted
really-
Mick. In my Twitch, they were like, I
Nice.
just voted Mick driver of the day, and then he crashed. And I was like, come on, man.
I was really hoping for Mick as
Jinxed
well,
it.
because he was the first ones on the dry tyres. So I was just hoping if Haas have finally got a strategy call right, because they're literally worse than Ferrari. Like his past 3 races, he's qualified in like decent positions. Monaco's kind of poor. It was just the strategy that's
Yeah.
costed them from like his first points. So when I saw them gamble and be the ones to say, okay, we're going on the dry tyres first, I was there crossing my fingers, please be the right decision. Because there was even one point in the race, you had the wet tyres, the intermediate tyres, and the dry tyres
Yes.
all at the same point. I'm thinking, this is
When
what
was the
Monaco
last time
is.
that happened?
This is what Monaco is.
Yeah,
like.
really good point.
Crazy strategy calls.
That's so true. Let's not forget to mention that Latifi and Stroll put themselves in a barrier on the formation lap.
Yeah.
I was not
That was,
surprised.
I was going to say that was shocking, but it wasn't at all.
Yeah.
Maybe a bit from Stroll, but not Latifi. I'm sorry.
Guys, I don't know what happened. I just understood into the wall.
Try turning the steering wheel, Nicholas.
Yeah, break. Oh, man.
We haven't spoken about the delayed start yet.
Oh,
Oh yes, the technical difficulties that they never told us about.
We were all thinking it was because of the rain.
yeah.
But no.
Yeah. And I know both of you arced on last week about we're all for the driver's safety and we don't want anyone getting hurt. But when they didn't tell us it was for technical difficulties, I was like, come on, guys.
Yeah.
They're not going to
Yeah,
get
it's just
hurt.
silly.
They're world class.
Yeah.
I was so looking forward to seeing a grid start in Monaco in the wet. I
Me
could
too.
not wait for it. And we didn't get it.
Even the
When's
second
the next
restart,
time it's going to rain in Monaco? Like,
legit. Even after the red flag, Mick gave us a second chance to have a standing start. And they still didn't.
They didn't
I
want to
know.
risk
Like,
it.
I understand it's like, ooh, you know, turn 1 is quite... But, like, the drivers know what they're doing.
Like,
If they crash, then they
there's-
crash and it makes it more
There's
exciting.
only 20 Formula
Safely.
1 drivers in the world. Like, think about 20 of the best drivers ever. Surely they can do a grid start at Monaco. You're picking 20 men or females, but these are all men out of a billion, trillion, zillion people. just give them a grid start. Like, and also about driving in the rain, they've got wet tyres for a reason. And also, they're the 20 best drivers in the world. Surely they can do this. Like, I did hear Lando Norris say it's one of the scariest things I've ever done, driving in Monaco in the rain. Like, fair. But it's also, like, it's a skill. Like, we want to see... Because then it shows the difference between, like, as I said before, the elite drivers and the good drivers.
Yeah.
Because you'll see someone going, like, half a second faster, finding the wet line, doing different lines. That's what we want to see as fans, realistically.
Yeah.
But they stole that away from us.
I mean, we did say we wanted like a grid start, but I just realised if there's technical difficulties, maybe the technical difficulties were to do with the 5 red lights, and maybe that's the reason why we couldn't do it.
They were 100% to do with the lights. Maybe they just never fixed it, which
maybe
could be a
that is
possibility.
why we started under safety car, or kind of.
That's a great
rolling
conspiracy.
start.
I love that. To go back to Lando, I'm really not surprised that it was the scariest moment of his life, because he was already packing his DAX before the race had even started, before the weekend had even started. The video that F1 posted on YouTube, he was just like, Monaco's scary. And you got Daniel Ricciardo and Lewis Hamilton saying, it's the thrill, it's the adrenaline. And then you got Lando going, it's scary.
Yeah. The difference between Lando and Daniel's opinions of Monaco was quite funny. And then
It's like
obviously
polar opposites.
the result was very different as well.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, let's say that the delayed start wasn't because of technical difficulties, and they literally didn't want to do a standing start. You should probably question whether Monaco should be a track in Formula One. If you can't do a wet race start,
I think it should be.
I think it should be. Me too. I'm on that side of the boat, but like, if you can't do a standing start in the rain, probably shouldn't be a track.
Like, let's be real now. With Monaco, Alonso was driving like 4 seconds slower than the leaders, and no one could get past. Like a few years ago, Daniel Ricciardo had he didn't have 8th gear, and no one could get past. Lewis Hamilton 2 years back was on 60 lap hole tires, and no one could get past. Surely they need to change something, because realistically, you don't even need to be the fastest car, and I think in a race weekend, the fastest driver / car should always be near the front. But if someone can be 4 seconds slower and the car behind can't overtake, that's not really racing. That's
that's so true.
The car, they need to change something dramatically, otherwise it's gonna be boring.
Yeah, that's true. I kind of don't blame Fernando for doing what he did, though. As much as a lot of people flamed him, you can do it. It's a part of the circuit. And I uploaded a video that got taken down not once but twice for bullying and harassment. So
no way.
Bear with me. All I said was, Alonso should be banned. He should be racing in Formula One if you're going to back up the pack. We all know if you're slow at Monaco, you go into the pits and you let everyone pass. By the way, I saw Ronaldo kick a football the other day in a video. What is he thinking? But it's true. You can't tell a driver not to drive his race, even if it's not going to be good to watch. Yeah. Same way you can't tell a soccer player not to kick a soccer ball.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But then,
exactly.
You know when they did tell Alonso to go quick, and then he just sets the fastest lap. It's just that's the funny thing. He can drive. You can drive to how slow you really want to, because they can't overtake, right? And you even saw when Hamilton was 5 seconds quicker than Ocon, and then they had their little collision where Ocon's now do you see Ocon's going crazy about it, saying, "Oh, they made new rules. It's favoritism to certain drivers." He's pretty much saying that he did nothing wrong, and that the FIA are just favoritism. The bigger drivers the Hamilton, the Verstappens, blah blah blah.
Are you talking about Ocon and Hamilton's collision?
Yeah.
Turn 1?
Yeah, both of them realistically, because there was 2.
Ocon was at fault.
I don't even remember watching a collision between those two. What?
So there's one on the straight where Hamilton has to brake because Ocon's pushing him towards the pit wall, and then there's one I don't know if it's before or after, but then in turn 1, Hamilton then hits into Ocon's rear tyre.
Yes. And
Yeah,
and he
and then,
loses.
like,
Doesn't lose an end plate, but damages his end plate.
Yeah,
Ocon got a 5-second penalty for that.
yeah. And then Ocon was just like raging about it, saying, "Oh, that's a new rule. They need favouring the bigger drivers, blah blah blah." So yeah.
Talking about, I don't know. I forgot what we were just talking about, but you
Nice.
said a word. You said a
Talking
word
about
that triggered
favourite
something.
drivers.
Oh yeah, talking about favourite drivers. That's true. But before we move on to ranking our drivers,
Oh, I thought that's what you were going for.
Same.
Oops.
you said something that triggered my memory, which was Jos Verstappen's comments after the race. Did anyone read those?
Give me a break. Yeah.
Oh,
Just-
it was ridiculous. So
as
pretty
soon
much.
as like something is happen, the same thing is happening, but against your son. It's completely outrageous. Never, not allowed. Change
Yeah.
the rules. It's like, hello.
To catch
this is what
everyone up.
happened the whole of last year. Sorry, yeah. Catch
Yeah,
everyone up.
legit. And in Spain. So pretty much, Jos Verstappen said that he didn't like Red Bull's strategy because it put Max behind and they didn't tune the car to Max's liking. He's the championship contender. Like, he should be getting number 1. Like, you know what I mean? He should be always finishing above Perez.
Perez is still in the running, by the
Yeah,
way.
now he
He's
is.
Exactly
also a
right.
championship contender.
If Spain didn't happen, he would be, 2 points behind?
Yeah.
Or 10 points behind? Something like that. Crazy. Speaking of favourite drivers, now we're gonna start ranking, a mid-season ranking or a quarter-season ranking for how the drivers are doing. We've all done it separately. We're gonna go driver by driver in a reverse standing order. Does that all make sense?
Yeah.
Yes, it does.
Awesome. We've got how many categories? 4? 1, 2,
5.
3, 4, 5.
5.
The highest being GOAT, then top tier, fair, mid, and confirmed fraud.
Ooh.
So, the bottom of the standings is our boy, big fan of the podcast, Nicholas Latifi. I have put him in confirmed fraud, and all I've written down is obvious reasons.
What?
No way.
Sorry, Nicholas. Carlo, where have you put him?
Go Tiffy. I'll put him in. No, I'm joking. I'm joking. No. Likewise, I've got him in confirmed fraud. And I have nothing written down because I don't think I should explain myself on this because I think just says it. Confirmed fraud. I'm sorry, Nicholas, but fraud.
I don't think there'll be one person that says, explain now!
Yeah. They shouldn't.
Yeah.
Hannah?
Yeah, confirmed fraud for me. Sorry. I like Nicholas Latifi, I do. But on the track, like maybe he should be a presenter instead.
Hey, there you go, Nicholas. There's some career advice for you. Shock horror that is in confirmed fraud. Alright, next on our list is Mick Schumacher. I've put him in mid. I just didn't feel... So that's the second lowest. I just didn't feel right putting him in confirmed fraud. He could be there at the end of the season, but I hope not. He had a good opportunity in Miami and Spain. You know, he gets in Q3. He's given me hope, so he's not confirmed, but if there was a fraud watch, he would be in that.
Yeah.
Hannah?
Well, I was interested you said like you were on the verge of confirmed fraud because I put him in fair. And I was thinking that you were debating putting him higher. I feel like obviously Haas is better than it was last year and K-Mag is outperformed, but he's still got so close to points. He hasn't got points yet, but you know, he's so close. I feel like he's been quite unlucky in not getting points, and obviously the Q3 appearance was great. When was the
Yeah.
Q3 appearance? Last race,
Yeah,
race
last
before?
race.
Spain. And...
so-
where Monaco. No, was he in Monaco?
Nah, not Monaco.
I'm talking about Spain.
But yeah, for me he's in fair, so the middle section.
Okay.
Yeah. Carlo? Your boy?
So yeah, with Mick, I think there's 2 points you can look at. If you look at literally, him and Latifi are the only guys that haven't scored a point yet. So you could just say straight off the bat, like, confirmed frauds, that Haas is a much quicker car, he should be getting points. But then if you analyse it, I think he hasn't, like, he's done well, he's just been unfortunate, and Haas have been the reason why he hasn't got the points yet with, like, strategy calls. So I was nervous that one of you was going to put him in frauds, but I've put him in mid. I put him in mid tier, which is the 4th lowest. Because I do believe if he doesn't score a point, then at the end of the season, you can put confirmed fraud. But right now, I just got him in mid tier, just chilling.
Maybe I've been harsh because you're right, the strategy has been a little bit how you going for Haas. But I feel like if he wasn't a part of the Ferrari Academy and the pool that they have to put certain drivers in places, he could be out of a drive. And I also read something just before this podcast that said Haas are thinking about dropping him for next season. Big statement to come out with a third of the way through the season.
I'm not listening. I'm not listening.
Alright. The next one is Sir Lancelot, Mr. Lance Stroll. I've put him in mid. He didn't have a bad week in Miami, but aside from that, he struggled in qualifying. Hasn't really proven himself during the race. I know that he hasn't had the best car, but we haven't really seen anything, really. Carlo?
Yeah, pretty much the same, realistically. I put him in mid as well. And that's based off, they pretty much have the slowest car, second slowest car. And him, and likewise with Vettel, they've both been around the same level. I think Vettel's just been a bit higher this season, so I've got Lance in mids, and I think he's pretty much going to stay there. Even if he wins a race, I feel like he's just going to stay in the mid section the whole season.
Yeah, facts. Hannah?
I've put Lance in fair. I think listening to you guys, I might
You're so
be a bit too
kind.
nice to every single driver. But never mind. I put him in fair. Like you said, the Aston Martin this year hasn't been as good as people thought it might be. It's definitely been not as good as last year, and down the pack a little bit. So for that reason, I feel like it's kind of impossible for him to be in the midfield or da-da-da. So yeah, I mean, based on the car being so bad, I feel like I'm not basing these drivers on their position. I'm just going equal to the car. How are they doing? So I just put him in fair. Not anything special, but also not the worst in the world.
That's fair, one would say. That's fair.
That's fair.
I feel like Hannah's whole list is Latifi and complete fraud, and everyone else is fair. She doesn't want to be biased.
My fair category is the biggest one, unfortunately, guys. Little spoiler alert.
Alright, next is the red-haired man, Alex Albon. I've put him in fair. He's doing good in the Williams. He's doing good. He become the tyre whisperer in Australia. Points in Miami.
Yeah.
He's just doing a good job. He's doing a fair job.
He's doing a fair job. Any guesses where I might have put him?
Was it
Could
fair?
be fair. Yeah, I have. I put him in fair. I think he's done really well. I had really low expectations for Alex. Obvious reasons. He's had a year out and all of this. But yeah, I think he's actually done surprisingly well, and I love to see it, so I put him in fair. I don't think he's quite top tier, but fair.
Damn.
Fair.
Okay. The reason I
Carlo?
said damn is because I think Albon's been top 5 drivers in the season so far. Because I think what he's working with and what he's been doing has been crazy. He's getting points with the slowest car. He's compared to Latifi, he's absolutely destroying him, and and that's all been because of how quick he's been. So in Australia, with his longevity with the same tires, and then even getting out of Q1 sometimes. I was thinking, I was debating putting him into GOAT category, but I said nah, I'm gonna keep him in top tier, but the first driver in top tier. Because I think he's been very good this season with what he's had.
Interesting.
Yeah.
It is right. He has done exceptionally well. Maybe in this case, I've been too nice to everyone, but too mean to Alex.
No, you make good points. Our next driver is Sebastian Vettel. I've put him mid. Yeah, mid. There we go. He just hasn't really done anything exciting in my eyes. He was battling for points in Miami, which was fun until what happened. I know he won't be here at the end of the season. He won't be in mid. Not that he won't be on the grid, but he won't be in mid. And to be fair, he did have an extremely rough start to the season.
Yeah.
Probably the worst start, as in health-wise and luck-wise and car-wise and reliability-wise. So I know he won't be here at the end of the season. He should be higher.
Yeah.
Where'd you put him, Carlo?
Well, I did have him in mid up until he got into Q3 in Monaco, the Aston Martin. And then I think this is a bit of like personal opinion. I just remembered the days of Vettel domination. I was thinking, that's one of them laps he used to do back in the day. To get that Aston Martin into Q3, I was thinking, yeah, that's the guy. He's still got that 4-time world champion in him. So I put him in the fair section. So just halfway. He's done better than Stroll. And as you said, with COVID at the start and then driving a green tractor. So yeah, he's doing well.
Green tractor turned green bull. Hopefully, anyway. Hannah?
I promise you, I have tons of drivers in other categories, but I've also put him in fair. I literally promise you, there's loads. All of the ones you read out first, apart from the TV, have just happened to be. Anyway, same reasons. Aston Martin hasn't been that great, but I think at the same time he's done well for that.
Yeah.
And also, nothing special, but nothing terrible at the same time. So fair.
Okay. Our next driver's Gasly, and I think I'm going to make a late change. I've put him in mid, and I know maybe a little bit biased, but he hasn't done anything really exciting except for Monaco, the start of Monaco, which was really, really good. I'm going to bump him up to fair, only because of his performance against his teammate the majority of the season. Yuki hasn't been able to figure out that car, and Pierre's figured it out just a little bit more.
Is he like loads up on like out of his teammate? Has he beaten him in pretty much every race?
Yes, but he's down on points.
Yeah.
Oh.
Which,
okay.
Hang on, I'm just doing the math in my head. That doesn't make sense.
Maybe Yuki had just like a fluke, like amazing performance one race.
Yeah, I can't remember. Hannah, where'd you put him?
Put him in fair. Don't hate me. I put him in fair. I did. The thing is, a lot of the drivers I put in fair, I actually cannot remember anything they've done this season, and for that reason, it can't be anything too awful because I would have remembered, and it can't be like incredible performances because I would have remembered. So I put him in fair.
Nice. With me, I've gone for two things here. With Gasly, I based him that currently is below Yuki, and I'm thinking Yuki's still like a rookie, and based off last season, we've seen Gasly has been much better than Yuki. So I've actually put Gasly in mid, but that's only because I know his potential, and I think right now he's still driving okay, but I think he's like a race winning like driver, and I think his potential is much higher. That he's kind of underperforming based off results. He's driving well. His results, if that's just been unfortunate, he's just underperforming a bit. So I put him in mid. So yeah, sorry, Gasly.
He won't be there at the end of the
Nah,
season. There's no way.
He won't.
There's no way.
No.
Our next driver is Fernando Alonso. Someone I didn't really care for a couple of years ago, but I have to say he's the most exciting driver to watch on the grid. He's only scored 10 points, but every time the camera's on him, you know something good is going to happen.
He knows that the camera's on him.
100%.
Yeah.
And I think if there's any driver that's going to win another championship, you know, in that sort of age bracket, it's going to be him.
Yeah.
I'd put him in the quickest car. So I've put him top tier. Credit to him. And I can't forget about that Spain Masterclass.
Yeah.
Last to ninth. Fantastic. Kialu?
Yeah, with Fernando, he is kind of like, who is he like? I think like not Magnussen, Schumacher, where his results, and as you can see, we're speaking about him a bit too early on because he's like kind of low in the championships. So his results, you would think maybe even mid for his ability, but I put him in the third tier because when you've actually watched him this season, he has been like very quick. Going back to Australia, where if he didn't have that brake problem, I think in qualifying, he was like competing
He was
for
on for
position. he
Yeah.
was going for pole, and then Spain masterclass, even Monaco, like he's just driving with some sort of like he's doing well. He's doing the Fernando Alonso 2-time world champion well. So I've just put him in fair. So because of the results, that's the only reason why.
All right. Hannah, you
I put him in.
stocking up your fare or?
I put him in top tier.
Way!
I think I loved seeing Fernando's driving this year. I think it's been really great, and I think he's doing really well. So for those simple reasons, top tier.
Credit to you, Fernando. Big fan of the podcast, I heard.
You have to say that at least once an episode, okay?
I would say it 20 times during this. Our next driver, P12 in the championship with 11 points, is Yuki Sonoda.
Right.
It's very obvious that straight circuits aren't his thing. P17 in Monaco. It did not start in Saudi Arabia. Can anyone remember what that was for? Was that for a shunt?
His car broke down on the formation lap.
Oh.
Oh, that's weird.
Interesting. I can't remember that at all. But really, he hasn't done much. I know 11 points is alright. He's beating his teammate, but it's just he hasn't done much. And I've put him in mid.
Okay.
4th tier. Hannah?
I put him in mid as well. I think my memory is mostly like the last couple races, and he hasn't done the best. So, for those reasons, mid.
Okay.
With me, I actually put Yuki in fair because I think I'm going based off since he's been in F1. Last season he had like a shocker season because he had a lot of hype around him and then like pretty much like fell quickly. And I think this season, especially with the AlphaTauri being worse than the car last year, and I'm basing him straight off him versus Gasly, based off results, he's actually doing pretty well. So I think for Yuki himself, he's doing a fair job. Like, I think he's even out qualifying Gasly a few times. I think it might be tight at the qualifying, but also I've said well
so in
done,
terms
Yuki.
of his standard,
he's
in fair. Yeah.
Well done, Yuki. You're doing a fair job.
Okay.
That's fair.
Next is P11. I'm gonna test you guys. Who's in P11 right now?
Ricardo.
In the standings.
Ooh.
Oh yes.
Oh yeah.
God damn. Yes, Ricardo. Yeah, I think mine might come down to bias and because of his race in Australia. Maybe not, because maybe he deserves to be in this category. He's not in confirmed fraud. He's in mid. Because I don't think you can put him in confirmed fraud, you know. But he kind of is showing traits of a fraud, and it pains me to say, he's showing traits. But my Daniel wouldn't be here at the end of the year. What about you, Carlo?
Oh, the thing is, I wanted to put him in mid. However, there was too many people in mid, so I was thinking I might have to do something bad here and put Ricardo in confirmed fraud. Now, hear me out here. I'm not saying he is a confirmed fraud. He's there based off just like someone else, his potential. Ricardo is and was at one point the greatest non-F1 world champion. However, these last 2 seasons and even this season, he did have Australia, which was very good. However, compared to Lando, I don't know, it's like a number 1 driver versus a rookie. Like Lando, I don't know, I'm sorry about Ricardo, I just don't see it. And I think this season might be his last season at McLaren. because his results are just not doing well. And I think even Zach Brown has been trying to say he's done all the, okay, Ricciardo, he'll be there. But then when I heard last week saying, oh, I think Lando's got the edge over him, it's like everyone knows, like even McLaren are now accepting it's the number 1 and number 2 driver. And for Ricciardo himself, he shouldn't be a number 2 driver. He needs to be the number 1. So I think a switch will be good for him. But which team might accept him, that's another thing now, based off results.
Yeah. Let's not talk about that. If I was a team principal, I don't think I'd want him unless I just want to be his friend. Hannah?
I've put him in mid. Obviously his results against his teammate have not been the best, and like you said, Luke, he's showing signs of fraudness, but I can't bring myself to put him in complete fraud. So he's definitely in the mid category. I don't know. Ugh, I love him, but I wouldn't. I'd also love him at McLaren, but I don't know. Maybe an AlphaTauri seat is calling his name.
But then I think also, which done it for me, when I was making this tier, was Spain, the race. Lando pretty much like dying. Okay, he wasn't dying, but he was pretty much dying with like tonsillitis or whatever, and still managing to beat him. And I don't think Ricciardo got points, and Lando got like P7, P8. I'm not sure where the end is. I'm thinking if you can't beat your teammate where he's not 100%, and Ricciardo should be driving at 100%, then come on now, like you just don't have it.
Yeah. The next driver is Kevin Magnussen, and I just realised I haven't ranked him, so I'm gonna do it on the fly. I'm gonna put him in. Just trying to remember his races. I'm gonna put him in fair. Yeah, no comment. Carlo? I can't remember.
Just like Mr. Alex Albon, I think he's been one of the top 6, top 7 drivers this season. So I'd put him in top tier, Magnussen, because pretty much, like, I don't know, a week before Bahrain, he didn't even know he was driving in F1. Then to come back, get P5 or P6, and then he's dominating his teammate. He's like, we don't really know how quick this Haas car is, but we're believing it's a like 5th best car because of Kevin Magnussen. Realistically, it's not because of Mick Schumacher, it's because of Magnussen and where he's put in the car. So I'm saying, well done, Kevin Magnussen. You're a top tier driver for this season.
Yeah, equally, I've put him in top tier. I just think he's done so well. His performances have been incredible. And like you said, such short notice getting back into the F1 car. And from the start, he's been great. He's beaten his teammate pretty much every race, has it been? And definitely seeing him in like the top 6 at some point is just like, how? But I think we all know the Haas last year was shocking, so we kind of had no expectations for it, which obviously is a great thing if you're a driver. But top tier.
Yeah, I guess you guys are right, because Gunther did say last year they would have fucked the whole grid for points, and now Kevin Magnussen's given them points on the regular. P9 pop quiz. Who is it? How are you? How are you so good?
I've got my rankings here, and I'm thinking, why is this guy here? And then the only reason he could be is because he's high in the standings.
Oh, fair enough. I've put Ocon in fair. To me, he hasn't really stood out, aside from Saudi Arabia, where he qualified P5, finished P6. I don't know, I wrote he's just kind of been racing. Like, there's no standout, you know what I mean? That's the best way I could describe it. So I put him in fair. Hannah?
Yeah, I've also put him in fair. A lot of the reasons why my drivers are in fair is because they've done nothing amazing and nothing terrible. So I feel like Ocon's doing quite well. He's doing quite well. He's actually, to be fair, he's put in some good performances, but for me, he's in fair.
Yeah.
No, I've got Ocon in fair, but the number 1 guy in fair, like, getting close to top tier. And that's because, 1, he's going against Fernando Alonso as a teammate. So far, he has beaten Fernando Alonso as a teammate based off standings. And when he had to race against him, like in Saudi, when they had like that 10-lap battle, he was actually like doing well and showing signs of like a good racing driver. So I think this season has started very well for Esteban. So yeah, I think this could be like his best season in F1 if he just stays like consistent and getting like them P10s, P9s. Because even if you remember Spain, like Alonso did well to come from the back to get P9, but the focus was also on Ocon because he was like overtaking a lot of people, and that Alpine is a very good race car. So yeah, I think Ocon's gonna do well this season. So I've got him the top of the fair bracket.
All right, we'll speed through these. P8, Valtteri Bottas. I have put him a late change from top tier to GOAT.
Oh,
I've changed him. I've bumped him up.
Interesting.
I've been reflecting. I've written, man, oh man, talk about getting the most out of a car. And that's so true.
Wow.
He's been on top of his rookie teammate. He really suits that first driver, team leader role.
yeah.
And he's finished points every single race except Saudi. Credit to him. And that was a DNF. What about you, Carlo?
Yeah, I didn't have the power to put Bottas in the top. Oh well, in GOAT tier. So I put him in top tier, but near the front because, as you said, he's just doing a fantastic job. And the only thing I can say with Bottas is that because he's going against Zhou, a rookie, you can't really judge him against his teammate because he is a rookie. If he had like a more experienced driver as a teammate and he was doing that, then I'd put him in top tier. But because it's Zhou, I've been saying, okay, fair. He's doing his thing. Well done, Valtteri, top tier.
Did I say Zhou before to rank him?
What do you mean?
No, we haven't.
Did I say him in the standings?
We haven't done
I think I skipped
Oh, no,
over my
we
boy
haven't.
Zhou. Alright,
Oh,
P18 with
no.
my... actually, Hannah, you... Oh, fuck.
It's fine, we
Just
can
miss
just go
Zhou,
back.
Just miss Zhou out. We just have to miss him out.
Wait, everyone, no explanation, just quickly. Guan Yu Zhou, where did you put him? I put him in fair. Go.
Trying to find his
You can't...
mid.
Okay, Carlo?
I put Zhou in mid.
Okay, moving on. We've done it.
But you need to say now your Bottas one.
Okay, I put Bottas in top tier. I think he's done exceptionally well. Yesterday, I was with Lissy and we watched episode 8 of Drive to Survive because I hadn't actually seen the last 3 episodes of it yet. I don't know why. And it was the episode about him and George switching places, and I just felt so sorry for him. But now I didn't feel sorry for him because we can look in hindsight and think he's actually doing really well at Alfa Romeo.
Yeah.
So I'm happy that he ended up switching. But yeah, top tier. I think he's done incredibly well. Loved seeing him fighting the Mercedes as well. It's quite ironic.
P7 in the championship standings. Who is it?
It has to be one guy. Sir Lewis.
No.
Is it not?
Oh my God,
Oh, who
No,
is it then?
it's Lando.
Who is it?
Lando!
No, I thought
Let's go
Lando was
Lando.
P6. He must have changed.
He must be so close
It's-
to Hamilton.
2 points behind Hamilton.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That's just how good we rate Lando. Because, like,
Yeah.
we all think of him like, like top 5. He has to be top 5, top 6. So, yeah.
Yeah.
Although the McLaren's hard to drive for both drivers this year, he's kind of outperforming it. Although the fact that he says he hasn't got to grips with the car excites me because he's doing well
Yeah.
without
Yeah.
fully understanding it. He's a lot like Carlos Sainz last year. He fits the underrated driver role. I didn't know you could get that much out of the car kind of stuff. Yeah, podium in Imola was exciting. Even gets results when he's sick. I've put him at the top of top tier.
Yeah. He's also definitely top tier for me. Absolutely. At the start of the season, first race, McLaren like P19 and P20 or whatever it was. Shocking. Very not great. Very not great.
Very
But
not
to
great.
get a podium, like I from that first race would have never expected a podium, and I love to see it. And I think his performances have been excellent, and against his teammate, great. Like you said, when he's ill, great. I just can't fault him,
Yeah.
so he's top tier for me.
Yeah. I'll keep
Yeah,
mine
it's
short
smart,
and
funny.
sweet. I'll keep mine short and sweet like Lando himself. So yeah, top tier for little Lando.
Nice.
Lando and his milk are up in top tier for all of us. GG's. All right.
Wait, I
P6.
swear, like 2 episodes ago, we all had like glasses of milk. Like this would have been the perfect time.
If we ever get Lando as a feature, we're gonna have to get a glass of milk each.
I heard he's a fan.
It's catching on.
It's catching on.
All right. As we alluded to earlier, Sir Lewis Hamilton, P6. Where have I put him? Here.
Ooh.
I've said he's had a tough time with the car, and his teammate, first year at Mercedes, walking all over him. It kind of overshadows the world-class driver that he is. Low-key, cannot remember his podium in Bahrain. Don't know why.
The Red Bull double DNF.
Yeah.
And that was due to some fortune. And for that reason, I have not put him in top tier. I've put him in fair.
Okay.
That's fair.
Carly?
I've also put him in fair. I've put him in fair, and it pains me not to put him in the GOAT category. But I don't know. I just based on this season, okay, he is in fair. I don't know.
If it was all
the
time.
Mercedes hasn't been great, but equally George has been great. So you have to add it up, and fair for me.
Yeah, so guys,
Oh no.
Lewis is the GOAT, okay? However, based on
Don't say it.
based on how good he is, I was thinking that I can only see him in the mid category.
Oh, mamma mia.
Oh,
Lewis, you didn't hear that.
No, hear me out. Lewis is the GOAT of this generation, of all these drivers. However, it's the Saudi qualifying for me. You got knocked out in Q1 in Saudi qualifying, and I'm just thinking, based off what we know about Lewis, this isn't Lewis Hamilton. He's been driving a bit mid. We know he is a very, very good driver, and even the results are showing it as well. I don't know how far behind he is from George. There's 30 points maybe, and it's not a lot if you have a race-winning car, because you can get 25 points. But when you're fighting over P6, P5, where you're only gaining 8 or 10, I think he's been...
What if I told you he was... Oh no, that's the Perez. 44. I was about to say 60.
His own number.
44, yeah.
His own number behind Russell.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm thinking...
That's so true.
It will be... okay, he's not top tier, in my opinion, because if he was top tier, then he would be right next to Russell. Fair is a good place to put him, but I'm going based off he is a 7-time world champion. He has been a bit mid so far this season. So yeah, sorry guys.
Sorry Lewis,
Waiting
big fan.
For the hate on TikTok now.
We got 5 drivers left. Sainz, Russell, Perez, Leclerc, Verstappen. It is about to get spicy. But if you want to hear the top 5 drivers, this is a shameless plug to our Patreon. Even the lowest tier gets to listen to the podcast. So thank you guys for listening. If you've made it all this way, really appreciate it. As I alluded to, Patreon is the Paddock Pass podcast. We're on TikTok, we're on Twitter, we're on Instagram, all that good stuff. Make sure to follow our personal TikToks, F1 Carlo, F1 Hannah, and F1 Luke Sam. This has been a lot of fun. We can talk more on Baku, my favourite track of the year, next week, which I'm very excited for, and I'm sure everyone here is as well. So thank you for listening.
Thank you.
And we will see you next week.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.